School did not fail by accident. It was built to work exactly the way it does. The bells, the lines, the repetition, the memorization, the tests that measure obedience instead of thought. The system was never created to teach you how to run a business or build wealth or think creatively or question power. It was created to shape you into something predictable, something compliant, something easy to manage. A worker who follows orders without asking why. Most people think modern school came from a need to educate children, but the real roots are far darker. The earliest models of public education were designed by industrialists who needed factory workers, not thinkers, not rebels, not entrepreneurs. Factories needed people who showed up on time, did what they were told, repeated the same task every day, and never questioned the boss. So they built schools that looked and operated exactly like factories. Rows of desks, schedules based on clocks, authority figures at the front, kids trained to raise their hands for permission to speak or move. You were not taught how to think. You were taught how to behave. The deeper you look into the history, the clearer it becomes. School was never about unlocking human potential. It was about managing it, controlling it, limiting it, and funneling it into a system built by elites who had no interest in creating competition. They needed order, they needed productivity, they needed citizens who followed the script without realizing they were in one. Ask yourself why school never taught you how money works, why you learned geometry but not taxes, why you studied outdated history but never learned how banks create debt, why you memorized names of wars but never learned how to build credit, why no one showed you how to start a business, negotiate, protect your assets, or understand the system you are forced to survive in. The answer is simple. An educated population is unpredictable. A financially literate population is uncontrollable. A population that knows how to create wealth does not depend on the system. They challenge it, they outgrow it, they break it. So instead, the system teaches you to comply, to listen, to follow, to repeat. You are rewarded for correctness, not creativity. You are punished for asking the wrong questions. You move from grade to grade like a conveyor belt, trained to believe that your value comes from approval and good behavior. That is not education. That is conditioning. And look at what happens when you graduate. You are told the next step is another system. College, more debt, more obedience, more structure. Then a job where your life is controlled by schedules, deadlines, managers, and rules. You go from one cage to a slightly larger one, and you are told to call that adulthood. It is not surprising once you understand who shaped this framework. The early industrial age was controlled by the same small group of elites who owned steel, oil, railroads, and banking. They needed predictable humans more than they needed educated ones. They needed people who would keep the machine running, and they built the education system as the assembly line for the human mind. But it did not stop there. Over time, governments adopted the same structure. Military leaders influenced curriculum. Corporations shaped textbooks. Private foundations funded programs that aligned with their interests. The purpose of school shifted from producing factory workers to producing compliant citizens, people who trust authority, follow orders, and fit neatly inside the financial system. You were not taught independence. You were taught dependence. Look at the routines. Kids sit for hours in silence. They move when a bell tells them to. They memorize information instead of questioning it. Creativity fades. Curiosity fades. Confidence fades. And slowly, without noticing, children stop being explorers and start being followers. It is not the fault of teachers. Many care deeply, but they are trapped in the same structure. Forced to teach a system they never designed. Forced to measure learning with tests that do not measure intelligence. Forced to push kids through a formula that has not changed in 100 years. Meanwhile, the world changed. Technology exploded. Opportunities expanded. Entire industries were born, but schools stayed frozen because the purpose was never to adapt. The purpose was to maintain the same old machine. And now the machine is evolving again. The same elite groups that shaped the old system are shaping the new one. Tech giants, financial institutions, and global organizations are pushing education toward digital surveillance, data collection, and standardized thinking. Children are no longer just students. They are data profiles, consumption patterns, predictive models, future assets for corporations that own the digital economy. The shift is subtle. Homework moves online. Tests move online. Attendance moves online. Every click, every login, every answer becomes a point in a database. And who owns the companies that run these platforms? The same financial giants that own the largest corporations in the world. The same names that appear behind school photo companies, testing companies, curriculum publishers, and ed tech firms. This is not education. This is reinforcement. The more standardized the system becomes, the easier it is to control society. If everyone learns the same lessons, believes the same narratives, follows the same rules, and fears the same consequences, you create a nation of people who never question the source of their beliefs. People who see authority as guidance, people who see conformity as safety. And the most ironic part is this: the skills school avoids teaching are the very skills required to escape the system. Creativity, strategy, problem solving, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, negotiation, risk-taking, leadership, vision. These are the traits that create independent thinkers. These are the traits the elites do not want the masses developing. That is why the system feels suffocating. That is why so many people wake up as adults feeling lost, confused, unprepared, and dependent. School gave you structure but not purpose, rules but not wisdom, facts but not understanding. You were trained to survive inside a cage instead of how to live outside of it. So when people say the education system is broken, the truth is far more disturbing. It is not broken. It is functioning exactly as designed. And the design benefits the people at the top, not the people trapped inside. The good news is simple. Once you see the blueprint, you are no longer controlled by it. Awareness breaks the spell. Questioning breaks the conditioning. Curiosity breaks the loop. The system only works when you believe its purpose. Once you stop believing the illusion, the structure loses its power. So ask yourself, if a system does not teach you how to think, how to create, how to question, or how to build a life on your own terms, is it really education, or is it something else entirely? You be the judge. If you are awake, you already know what to do. Hit the link in our bio and subscribe to our free underground newsletter.